Hi there, here Chef Bonus. Today in this video I'm going to talk about all about, here we go, chocolate, right? Well, everybody loves chocolate, but they need to know that what kind of chocolates are there and types of there and what are like the fruit, how it looks like. So I'm going to cover every single thing about chocolate, and you can't deny, right? Everybody loves chocolate. So without wasting time, let's go quick and easy way to understand about chocolate. Before that, welcome to my channel, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, please. It will really help me to motivate, and I'm going to bring a lot of video to you, so it'll be very much informative for you, right? I'm going to come up with a lot of things. So let's figure out what exactly chocolate is all about, right? So chocolate comes from cocoa beans which grow on tree in Central America and South America. Here we can see that it's come from Central America and South America, right? Starting probably like about 100 million years, and the cocoa tree has been gotten their start on the lower slope of the Andes Mountains, and it's going to be like in a tree which is like can be go over any of weather, which is like a hot or rainy place near the equator. The trees bear large orange fruit about the size of a small pumpkin. That is how it look. Well, I have the picture, you can see here, and many small beans inside the piece inside a pea pod, right? So let me show you that how it look like. Here we go, you can see the orange like look like on a pumpkin, and there the seeds are. So let me show you the next slide, the seeds how it look like. So the raw beans are really good for you. It's like full of vitamin C and magnesium, but they are bitter. Well, everybody knows that cocoa is so bitter, right? So good amount of sugar and everything we add. For that reason only we just get the form of chocolate. Let's go to the next slide and figure out what the varieties of the chocolates are what we have. Let's figure it out. Number one, we have a baking chocolate, then we have a natural cocoa, then we have an unsweetened chocolate, then we have a dark chocolate, then here we go, Dutch processed cocoa, then milk chocolate, white chocolate, and the last not the least, semi-sweet and bittersweet chocolate. And this is how it looks like. Check it out. This is what exactly it looks like, the chocolate beans, right? So these are very bitter, as I said, and so this is all like we had to go through the process to make it, bring it to the chocolate form, right? So let's figure out the baking chocolate and how it works. So bar with about 60% of cocoa and 40% of sugar and no added cocoa butter, right? This is all about the baking chocolate, the processed. And here we go with the natural cocoa, and the natural cocoa has a strong flavor and light in color and is solid unsweetened. So exactly, cocoa, this is like a pure natural cocoa, so it becomes a little better. There's nothing a single sweet person you can get it here. And this interact with the baking soda to create the bubble that leave baked good. That's great. And here unsweetened chocolate, this is also solid and bitter chocolate. It is 100% cocoa. Chocolate liquor is solid form and no added sugar or cocoa butter. So unsweetened and the natural is a bit similar, but the unsweetened is like without sugar any of adding at that. The natural cocoa is completely natural, which is having an acidic and interact with baking soda, right? So it's a bit clear, right, with the natural cocoa and the unsweetened chocolate. Here we go with the next slide and figure out the next thing. What we have is a dark chocolate, right? And this is like an umbrella theme encompassing semi-sweet, bittersweet and sweet chocolates. Even though like basically like except milk chocolate or white chocolate, dark chocolate, you know, that is bit sweet but not exactly that much, not even, it's like kind of a neutral. It's just normally what you have, can I say, like Nestle or the Bonville, I think so, that you already tasted, right? So that is like a pure cocoa, that what exactly written over there in the wrapper, that is a pure cocoa. So that is like a dark chocolate comes from, right? It's not exactly sweetened, not exactly that bitter. It's going to be a neutral, but exactly perfect one as dark chocolate. That exactly that what they're giving up a name. So here we look forward for the milk chocolate made from the cocoa milk solids, vanilla, sugar, emulsify and extract cocoa butter. Milk chocolate tend to be sweet, smooth and melty. Cocoa content can be low in 10%, but today high quality. Milk chocolate is raised to 35 to 45% of cocoa. right? You can see here there's a limit of the milk chocolate, which is not exactly that much percent of adding in this cocoa, because yes, milk chocolate is going to be like in a smoother, and it's going to be like in a melty sweet. So milk is all about, like, if you figure it out, it's completely a white looks, right? So those are a very little few cocoa is going to be added to that to give it a flavor a bit, but it's going to be all like in a melty and sweet, right? That is all the compositions of this milk chocolate. Let's go to another one. That what we have is Dutch processed cocoa. Here we go. Treated with alkaline during process, which neutralize and darken it, the cocoa has a deep, mellow chocolate flavor. The Dutch processed cocoa, that's the cocoa, but there's a process of Dutch. Well, let me just tell you that after this chocolate PPT is done everything, I'm gonna bring up about the process, the whole process of chocolate, and how it really work, how they fermentate, how they bring the formation of cocoa to chocolate. So whole process I'm going to explain it, right? It's going to be very long, so just want to be a short and sweet, right? So you can easily understand. This is just to understand what exactly chocolate is all about. So Dutch one having a different process, that the cocoa has a deeper, mellow and chocolate flavor, right? So let's go for the white chocolate. This is rich and mellow, sweet and creamy. White chocolate is chocolate made from without cocoa, just the cocoa butter, milk solids, sugar and unusually vanilla. The absence of cocoa solids accounts in ivory color, faint chocolate taste, and absence of bitterness. So definitely we already had a white chocolate, right? It doesn't have a bitter taste. This is like kind of say like a very creamy. When you have in your mouth, you can easily feel that creaminess of it, right? Just like, I think so, cream. When you melt it, it will like taste so good. And sometimes we can find a little bit of sweet more in this white chocolate, because in this I think so more into the adding a lot of sweet, like sugar, confection sugar, or anything, like you're gonna add it up to this. So that's the reason the white chocolate is more into that, because there's no cocoa present in it, right? So let's figure it out. The next, that what we have, the semi-sweet and bittersweet chocolate. This is last not the least. The dark chocolate is generally made with a 50 to 60% of cocoa. No strict definitions exist on the brands. Bittersweet may be sweeter than the another sweetness. Generally, bittersweet has a higher cocoa content and probably less sugar. So you now got to know all the type of chocolates that what we have, and in that there are plenty of that which is without cocoa, some of like with cocoa, and some of like with mid solids, right? The milk solids, which is more creamy in taste. And here we can see who have been getting the cocoa. They are a little bit bitter, but not that bitter, because the 50 to 60% or 40 to 50% adding of cocoa just for the color and intense flavor as a cocoa, because that comes to the chocolate, right? So next we figured out what exactly mean the cocoa, right? Let's figure out the cocoa varieties. This is something extra tips that I'm giving to you about the cocoa varieties. This is the important thing, because this is only that gives the form to the chocolate, right? Let's start it. Cocoa is made from cocoa beans, that what you already saw in the previous video, in the previous slides, that can see the beans of it, right? The dry and fermented seeds of the cocoa tree, which is called Theobroma cocoa. A small 4.8 meter tall, and it's going to be 15 to 26 feet tall evergreen tree, native to the deeper tropical region of America. Well, you can see in South America and the Central America, right? This is where it takes born. So cocoa beans are usually make chocolate liquor, cocoa solids, cocoa butter, and chocolate. Let me tell you that American people are like consuming a lot of cocoa liquor. When they start with this, we can say like when these things burn, so they all started with like a cocoa liquors, cocoa chocolate, and chocolate liquors. They all come out of it, right? They were so delicious and so much famous in America. And let me tell you, there are the three variety of cocoa beans used in chocolate, which is Criollo, Forastero, and the Trinitro, right? This is like a different kind of word. This is like how I pronounce. Maybe people are different, I pronounce different way, right? So this is a three important thing, don't forget it, the cocoa varieties, right? Let's figure out what exactly the three varieties all about. Here we go, the three varieties of cocoa beans. The first is Criollo, right? So let's study about that. Criollo is the rarest, the most expensive cocoa on the market, and a native of Central America, right? Like Caribbean islands and the North Tier of a South America state. So this you can see, this is the most expensive and very rare you can get it, this one. So people are really less people afford this, and if you really have a garden of it, then you'd be like the rich person. Right, so let's figure it out. What we have is Forastero, which is the Africa cocoa crops in entirely of the Forastero variety, which are like significantly harder and is the higher yield than Criollo. You can see that's more expensive, but after that which comes the Forastero, which is an Africa cocoa, right? It's like the tropical up there. The source of the most chocolate marketed, which is a Forastero cocoa, they are typically strong in classic chocolate flavor, but have a short duration and unsupported by the secondary flavor, producing quite bland chocolate. So not exactly the type of Criollo, but when it's come to Forastero, it's like not for the longer way they can stay, but not exactly the chocolate taste, but there is a quite bland, right, which is not exactly similar to Criollo. But this is like variety is there in it, because this is like in the South cocoa, which is like an African, so availability is there, right? Then we have a Trinitrio, so it's a natural hybrid of Criollo and the Forastero. You can see the two of the Criollo and the Forastero, right? The two of combination right here, Trinitrio, right? What exactly? You can figure it out easily, which is like each other, like they all are like can I say like a mix, right? So this is like a hybrid Criollo and the Forastero, which is Trinity originated in the, and I cannot say Trinidad after the introduction of Forastero 3, this local Criollo crop, near all the cocoa production over the past 5 decades of the Forastero in the lower grade terminal varieties. So these are two a bit expensive. Criollo is a bit expensive. The second one is available but exactly a bit bland chocolate, which is got from the Africa cocoa crops, right? They have the one, but this is like a natural hybrid Criollo, which is just like in both of that, a mix of it, means you can say like a neutral of both, right? So it kind of like a middle. So this is what the three type of cocoa beans. It's not that example, not that exactly important, but you know what, if you want to be really a great chef, you need to be having all kind of knowledge. And this is if you have a great knowledge about these things. So when you stand near any of a really great chef, you will really feel proud that you have a great idea about the cocoa beans. It's not about just to deal with the chocolate and you know plenty of things. That doesn't make any sense. Makes sense when you have a good knowledge about it, so you can really make a new innovations, that how it works. As much theoretical basic you know, that innovation you can bring it up. Let's few more details about that. So here we go. What are exactly the benefit for the chocolates and all about chocolates? So dark chocolate contains a lot of antioxidants that helps the cardiovascular system by reducing blood pressure. Wow, that's really great. Eating dark chocolate when it enters and promotes healthy blood flow that can prevent the building up your plaque that can block arteries. This is really great tips. The smell of chocolate increase the brain waves which trigger relaxation. I would like to. Well, I can say like a fount of cocoa products had an antioxidant and inflammatory, anti-clotting effects that can reduce the risk of diabetes and by improving insulin sensitivity. So these are the few details I would like to add, so you can have a great understanding that what exactly this is benefit for your body, right? But yeah, exactly, let me tell you that whatever you just having is better being in a good quantity, not over than that, because everything that if you really give an overdose to your body, it's gonna be damage, right? So let's figure out the stories that how we're gonna store the chocolates. Here we go. The chocolate is very sensitive to temperature and humidity. That's perfect. Ideal storage temperature is between the 15 and 17 Celsius, which is 59 and 63 Fahrenheit, which is relatively humidity of the less than 50%. If refrigerated or frozen without contaminant, chocolate can absorb enough moisture to cause of a whitish discoloration, the result the fat or sugar crystal rising to the surface. Generally stored away from the other food because it's absorbed different aromas. Yes, exactly. When I just keep the chocolate open in the fridge and the plenty of things are already there in the fridge, right? So they just, the smells like the chocolate absorbs other smells. So when you smell the chocolate, you're not gonna feel exactly the chocolate flavor comes up to your nose. You're gonna feel some of other smells which is already present in your fridge that are gonna be absorbed by chocolate. So it's gonna be like not gonna keep that exactly aroma of the chocolate, the genuine one, right? So ideally chocolate are packed with a wrap or packing in the proper store is in the correctly humidity and temperature. Additional, chocolate is frequently stored in a dark place and protect from light and wrapping paper, right? Try to figure out the best possible to keep the chocolate, to wrap it up clearly so no contact of any air or any of smells to come up to grab the whole chocolate and just change the whole chocolate flavor and the smell, right? So try to figure out the best possible to keep so it can be keep for longer and better, right? So I'm gonna bring a lot of things to this now about the chocolate process. Second video I'm going to bring, which is all about the process of chocolate, that how the fermentation happen and how it comes to from the top to bottom, the processed one, right? And thank you so much for watching my video. Do share, learn, and share with your friends who are comes to the culinary. And these are all our basic things. If you really have a great idea about these things, so that will really going to help you to be a better chef, because as much you know about the knowledge, the theoretical knowledge, it's going to be give you a lot of, can I say, like confidence to comes out with a lot of innovations of the chocolate, because you have a great idea that this is happening in this much cocoa. So if you add some of its cocoa, so you can really a great flavor. So plenty of things I'm going to bring it up. So please do watch, do learn, and share my video. Do subscribe. That's really going to motivate me, and I'll bring a lot of information which will going to help you guys. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye bye.